Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. If I could sing, I would break out in song just for you. I hope you're having a great Christmas. I hope you found all the right things underneath that tree.
Crazy news.
Alrighty. Hi. Hello. What are you gonna get?
Yeah.
The same thing?
This is all you get. This is Florida Christmas. 74 degrees. I got it made over here. Look, I got my boys with me. Crazy.
I've learned a lot from this report. Many chapters were difficult to read and certainly humbling.
Hopefully you had one of those magical days, you know. And perhaps even you read The Santa Claus Killer this season. Good going on you if you did. Hey, I know, it was a scare fest, wasn't it? So today, here I am, we're talking about SantaCon, we're talking about Christmas, but the main topic is about the Santa Claus Killer. No, not my book, the real guy. The real Santa Claus who killed people. Coming up right now on Crazy News Reacts with RJSmith. Let's roll, baby.
Anybody had any interaction with him during Pride? We'd love to hear from those people.
Toronto police say they cannot rule out that his disappearance may be linked to 3 unsolved mysteries. 3 men who disappeared from the gay village and have never been found.
Heterosexual, you probably thinking, well, shit, I'm not in the gay community. I must be safe. Yeah, no, that's not how that shit works. I'm sorry. This guy was just a complete lunatic, okay? And he went after gay people, but he went after regular people. And I can't even imagine the terror that must have struck through the gay community when this guy was out there mutilating and killing and God knows what else. Let's continue. Ugh.
For 66-year-old Bruce MacArthur lives here in Thorncliffe Park, but he's in custody tonight, arrested and charged with the deaths of 2 men who disappeared from the village, and police say he may be responsible for the killings of several others too.
That shit is pretty rare.
Holy shit.
You know, a gay serial killer? I mean, you have to go back to Andrew Cunning, I guess, the guy who killed Versace. And then after that would have to be the cannibal. Right? What the fuck was his name? The cannibal. The Milwaukee cannibal. I don't know. I'll put his name up here. It'll come to me later on when I don't fucking need it, you know? I want to remind you guys, I have a very serious brain injury, so sometimes I mispronounce my words or I misstate things. It's just because the thoughts don't sometimes go all the way where I want them to go. But good for you, because that's what makes me so fucking crazy. Moving on.
He never looked like a serial killer. He's not the horrific demon man that you would think. He's just this old man who was a family man. This is a man who appeared gentle, was very kind and soft-spoken.
What the fuck?
They had no idea that a serial killer was in their midst.
You freaking nuts? This guy was kind? Are you serious? This guy was chopping up gay men and burying. What the fuck is? Oh my God, he was a nice guy. People, we can't really make this up, can we? Let's go on.
Age obviously has a huge part to do with this. Did he really start killing people when he was in his mid-50s? What? All indications are that serial killers do not start when they are that old. Bruce MacArthur killed 8 men over the span of 7 years. He was 66 by the time he was found guilty. He was starting to kill people at a very late age, and that is rare.
These guys really think they know what the they're talking about, right? They don't freaking know. What do you mean older people don't become serial killers? Maybe they die before you catch them. Right? I mean, anybody could be a serial killer, and at any time, 50 serial killers are operating in our country. Did you know that? Yes, I took my meds today. Just saying.
By the time they become a confident adult, they're prepared to actually take the next step.
Get the fuck out of here.
Most males at MacArthur's age have a sex drive that's beginning to ebb and sort of wane off. So at that age, to be that immersed in these fantasies, he is as active as any serial killer half his age. What was he doing 20 years ago when he was the peak age for these type of offenders?
Cutting, chopping, and slicing. FBI profiler. Although I believe I could be the best FBI profiler if they gave me the job, right? Who knows? Anybody could be anything. If a actor can become a singer and the singer can become a stage play, come on. How all of the stars' children, they're all magically stars, rappers, and actresses. It's just, it takes so much talent, bullshit. It must be passed on through the genes. Continue.
What? In popular imagination, there's a concept of what a serial killer looks like.
Oh no!
Do you expect an older man who was literally a grandfather, who worked as a Santa Claus, to be killing and dismembering men? You don't. Toronto Police interviewed Bruce MacArthur in 2013, years before he was caught as part of Project Houston. Police would have gone into that interview room and seen an older man.
A monster.
He was portly, he came across as very affable. I don't know that alarm bells were going off about him.
The alarm bells aren't gonna go off. These guys are made for this.
Shake and bake, baby.
They don't make alarm bells go off. They are so good at what they do and so convincing. That's why they're sociopaths. They can convince anybody of anything and seem very normal while they do it. When I was a young kid, I had a psychiatrist. I don't know, I was very young at the time, 8, 9, 10 years old. One of the main things I remember he told me is that I was going to grow up to be a serial killer or die in an electric chair. I'm not kidding you. This guy told me that.
Hey, jitterbug.
And it's just because I had all kinds of crazy problems when I was a young kid. Hey, just for the record, I've never become a serial killer. That's one thing I can say with confidence. Not interested. Especially because of the death penalty.
Bruce MacArthur deceived many people throughout the years. His family, his friends, and the police along the way too.
He never looked like a serial killer.
Oh, real?
He's not the horrific demon man that you would think. He's just this old man who was a family man. This is a man who appeared gentle, was very kind and soft-spoken.
Bullshit!
They had no idea that a serial killer was in their midst.
Look, there are sheep and there are what? Wolves. I constantly tell you guys this. Wolves are predators and the other people are sheep and they're the prey. And that's all throughout the animal kingdom. There's only really two people I can really assign this to. Criminals, definitely, the way they grow up, the natural defenses that keep you safe. You learn to look for things that normal people just don't have to look for because they have a very comfortable, soft life, a great childhood. But kids who grow up that way and become serial killers, that's because there's some real trauma there. Now, police officers are trained to look for certain types of serial killers that fit a pattern. But serial killers without a pattern?
It's bullshit.
Yeah, those people go on for a very long time. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, the name I was trying to think of earlier.
He looked harmless, but now we know that that doesn't mean anything. Nobody looks like a serial killer necessarily. And you have to ask why we assume that an older white guy is incapable of doing the things that he did.
One who does not want to meet this Santa Claus, in Macy's or anywhere. When I wrote my book, The Santa Claus Killer, I based it off of this story. It was years and years and years ago. Of course, people really took to that novel, just like the story. And every year, it's a great hit. It keeps on coming back. Gotta love it. This guy, wow.
Age obviously has a huge part to do with this. Did he really start killing people when he was in his mid-50s? All indications are that serial killers do not start when they are that old. Bruce MacArthur killed 8 men over the span of 7 years. 66 by the time he was found guilty.
8 men in 7 years? That's it? Less than 1 a year. That's got to be like the most inactive serial killer I've ever heard of. Who the hell, kills less than once a year as a serial killer? That's got to be a weird fucker right there. And the rest of the time he's running around in a fucking red suit and hat and big old belly, a fake beard, and God knows what's going on under there. Just like I said in my interview for Santa Claus Killer way back, you never know who Santa Claus is. I would never put my child on a Santa Claus's lap. That's for sure. I know better.
So much of serial homicide is driven by dangerous fantasies about situations, people, sights, sounds that materialize in someone's teens or during their formative sexual years, that by the time they become a confident adult, they're prepared to actually take the next step.
Now hold the fucking bus. Fantasies? Look, I have fucking fantasies. Everybody has freaking fantasies. You're gonna tell me this guy killed because he had fantasies? It's gotta be something a little deeper than that, okay? I don't smoke medical marijuana because of a mental illness. I smoke it because it makes me feel good.
What was he doing 20 years ago when he was the peak age for these type of offenders?
My kittens, the next time you think of a serial killer, don't think of the guy in my book, Richard Blake, because he's a pretty sick bastard, right? Think about this guy and all of the guys like him who are out there right now grabbing people. You go out in the dark, you go around a corner, you don't fucking know what's coming. Whoa. So be happy this year that you're safe at home, you're with those you love, and you're having a great Christmas. Please try to excuse my crazy, violent episode. But I had to tell you where the Santa Claus Killer came from. And if you haven't read it, there's always next year. Wow. That's it. I got to go with my family now. It's Christmas Day. Have fun. And I'll see you right back here in a couple days. Merry Christmas.